Hello everybody, my name is Cyprian. Welcome back to the second part of the tutorial where I'll guide you through selecting the photos, adjusting them and stacking them on top of each other to obtain the result we aimed for in the first part. Here in this part we'll just import the photos, navigate through our system to go to the folder where they were imported, select all the photos that make any sense to us, avoid taking in all the tests and the useless bits. We're gonna wait a bit here. I'm gonna skip actually because it takes too long in my computer. There we go. And now what I usually do, I just flag them all and then filter to see only the flagged ones, and then I unflag each one that I don't need, that I take another look at it, I compare it to the one before and after and decide it's not of any help, then I'm gonna unflag it. It's not gonna remove it in case I want to bring it back. It's just easier, because if you use a different system, then you're gonna go and import it back and whatever, it's just gonna be more time consuming. I find this easier for me. After I'm done selecting the photos I need, as part of my workflow, is more of a personal thing. I usually go down, I select all of them, I go down, and that's a general adjust that I like to do. I go to camera standards and then profile correction. That's basic for all photos, and then I go on top again and do the white balance, which is a bit tricky on milk because it's not perfect white. It's gonna add a bit of magenta tint to it, so you want to drag that back to the green side, and that should get you going on normal looking milk. And then on the whites, you notice there's that red clipping part. That's not really a big problem. You can leave that there because it's going to be covered anyway later on, you'll see. And you do want to get is the brightest white you can get without blowing the rest of the image. The one that's red doesn't matter, it's not a big thing. After we're done with the adjustments, I usually go with with TIFF files. This time I'll go with JPEGs. They're just lighter, and the system will work a lot faster for this tutorial. I initially selected 30 files that I think I might need some bits out of them, so I just drag them all into Photoshop. Now I'll try to select the ones that make more sense. I'm probably going to use this one as the main one because it's just a lot easier to isolate the milk from the background, and then I'll stack this on top of something else. After I made up my mind and which one's going to be the top layer and which one's going to be the bottom layer, I'll just drag the top layer on top of the bottom one, and I'll start selecting to isolate the milk like you see here. I use the quick select tool. I think that's the easiest for me. I'm very comfortable with that, and usually I don't select the thing that I need, I select the thing that I don't need, because there's less detail and the tool will just fly faster through the whole thing. Then I go with a refine edge and just go across the edges to blend it in smoother, to give it a very, very smooth blend. Just don't be afraid to go on top of the thing you need, of the thing you want to isolate. It's actually going to do a better job with this one. I find it easier than the pen tool. Of course, some people would say it's the other way around. For me, this works. You can use whatever you feel comfortable with. After I'm done with the selection, I create a mask for that selection, and then I invert the mask. It's Control I, I think, Control Shift I, or no, Control I, yeah, Control I, and then with the black brush you just go over the edges again, because look, there's a little black edge. And if you don't remove the selection, if you keep the selection on and then do with a black brush on the mask across the edges, you're gonna get rid of that, and it's not a very complicated process, pretty fast one. You don't really have to be very careful because the mask is there, and that's just gonna protect every detail from being erased or affected. It's just gonna allow you to go deeper into it. After I'm done cleaning the edges, I create a blank layer, clean empty layer in between the bottom layer and the top one, and I do some retouching. Like you see there, that chocolate ball that was on the table, I don't really need that in this image, so I'm just gonna take it out. In this situation I'm using the stamp tool on kind of a low flow, so it's just gonna do a better blend. You can use the stamp tool in a lot of situations and it's going to give you very, very good results. I'm satisfied with those. Other people, again, they copy layers, they use other bits of the image to cover some parts. This is just very fast. If you have a tablet, this is just amazing. Right now I'm using the mouse to get rid of the details. It's okay. I just wanted to use something that's more accessible to anyone. If you do have a tablet, don't avoid using it. Right now I'm just enabling visibility on the other layers one by one to see what other details I might need from them. In this case I'm just gonna need that chocolate ball along with its shadow. And I will reposition the layer so it will fit the scene. I'm reducing the opacity to 50% so I can see underneath it. They have an idea where I'm positioning the thing. I'm going to look for a place where the shadow will fit in, so it's going to make sense there. It's going to look more realistic. After that I'm going to create a mask and invert the mask. So now I know roughly where the ball is, and I'm just going to unmask it. Going on to the next image, you see this one, the cap there, it's in a kind of has a big dark shadow on it. So I'm just going to select the next photo that has a better lit cap, and I'm just going to overlay that as well. I'm just going to take the light from it basically, and again using a mask, invert mask, and I'm going to unmask that part with a white brush. Here you're going to be able to see what each layer has actually done to the image. You're going to be able to pause actually on YouTube, because I know I'm running through too fast through them, but well, otherwise the video would have been probably 15 minutes. So you can pause at any time and just see what each one actually did to the photo. To give the milk a lighter look, I added a brightness, an overall brightness adjustment layer, and a curves layer. The curves layer, I actually created a kind of a bend to it. I wanted the darks on the chocolate ball to remain that way, and then the wider parts actually to just stay dreamy, fluffy, whitey, whatever. This is more of a personal thing, personal taste thing as well, so you can just do however you find it more appealing. I will crop the image just to reframe it, because I had to use a wider angle, not a wider angle, actually a wider frame for the initial shot, just to make sure there are not gonna be some parts out of the image. Now it's down to cropping it again. It's hard to be precise when you're taking the photo with spills and stuff like that. You gotta prepare for a wide shot. I'd like to thank you all for stopping by and watching this tutorial. I hope it was useful for you. If you did like it, please comment, subscribe, like, whatever you feel like, and share it as much as possible. If not, please let me know why. Thank you, and hope to see you again.